Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Radio Griffin Theater on WCWM 90.9 FM in Williamsburg. Tonight, in cooperation with Nerf Games at William & Mary, our players now submit for your entertainment a live performance of a Western, The Good, the Bad, and the Nerfed, written by Nathan Moe, Jonathon Newby, and Jake Poppiti. Without further ado, all players to their places.
Surprised to see you out tonight, Mitchens.
And leave a good woman without any proper conversation? You're the only reason I ever come to this broken saloon.
How many have you had again?
3 and counting, but every word is true, Miss Talia.
Always the charmer, aren't you, Mitchens?
Only for you, my dear. But what brings you here tonight?
Any news on Sheriff Cropley?
Nah, nothing yet.
How long has he been missing now? 2, 3 weeks?
Whatever it is, it doesn't look good for anyone.
What's happened now?
Didn't you see today? About half the town up and left. John Sass, Muriel Evans, Iz Walker, all of them. You know Thomas at the telegraph office? The man's fought in 2 wars and he's running out tonight.
I mean, the sheriff's gone, but that hasn't changed much around here. The crime hasn't gotten any worse than it usually is.
I think I better show you this.
What's this note?
Just read it. It was found nailed to the sheriff's door this morning.
To the people of Doddsville, we are your new protection and expect our salary in 2 weeks' time. Sincerely, your new sheriffs. New sheriffs? Who are they?
Nobody knows.
Hide the children! Hide the beer! They're coming!
Who's coming, Boswell?
The villains! The sheriffs!
Are you certain?
Of course I'm certain. I still got one good eye, don't I?
That's debatable.
I'm telling you, we got to hide the beer.
And offer us a drink first? If that's how you treated the last sheriff, I can see why he left.
What do you want here?
It's a saloon, isn't it? What we want is to enjoy a glass of whiskey with our fellow citizens. Is that so much to ask?
It is.
Where are my manners? I haven't properly introduced myself. They call me Osiris. As for my associates, this is Mr. Lee.
Hello!
And Jug.
Yo!
Of course, there is another member of our merry band, but I am sure you will be meeting him in a moment.
Is that supposed to mean something to us?
Careful, Mitchens.
I certainly hope so. It took so much effort to bring him along, Mr.
That's my business.
If you prefer no names, that is your prerogative.
Excuse me?
Oh, forgive my linguistic stylings. I was an educated woman before entering into the sheriff business.
Miss Osiris, I don't know what schooling you received, but you clearly weren't taught when your business is not wanted.
You may have taken our sheriff, but you're still outnumbered and outgunned in this town. So why don't you choke on your drink and find a town more to your liking? I'd recommend that outhouse about 5 miles out.
Perhaps I have gone about our introductions all wrong. Mr. Lee, would you mind bringing him in?
Right, boss?
Great. Now there'll be 4 schoolboys.
Mitchens, don't play with fire. You got no idea what's coming.
Boswell, what do you want? I doubt they have any...
Now see what you done!
You brought a coffin for yourself?
I was always told it's what's on the inside that matters most. Mr. Lee, a demonstration, please.
Right, boss?
Mr. Lee?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the mummy!
What?
You stay back now.
Get back, you bastard!
Stay back.
Mitchens, get out of the way! Mitchens!
Talia, don't move. There is nothing we can do now.
Do we all understand each other? We are your new sheriffs, and this is the villainy we are protecting you from. We expect to be paid properly for our efforts. You have 2 weeks. Good night, fellow citizens. Mwah.
Is this it, Abraham?
The telegram says Dartville.
This is the town. There isn't a soul in sight.
Probably why they wired us, Johathon. Did it mention anything else in the telegram?
It just says, come immediately. Sheriff missing. Mummy killing. Dartville.
Mummy?
A gang name, maybe?
You better hope it's just that.
Are you saying we couldn't take on a mummy?
I'm just asking if we have the firepower for it.
Well, we'll answer that question later.
Come on, I need something to keep me steady. The saloon's right over there.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
Appletini, love.
Gin and soda if you got it.
Nothing for me, Talia.
So you got my wire, Abraham?
Friend of yours?
I've had a life before you two, yes. Boys, meet Talia Fellows, the third best distiller in the state.
Second best, Abraham. The first went missing 2 years ago.
I wouldn't know anything about it.
Who did you bring around this time?
Johathon Newby, former chief of staff. Good Appletini, by the way.
Thank you. And you, dear?
I'm Lional Jones, professional fixer. You have a problem with the missing sheriff and a mummy?
Is it just business with this one?
I'm afraid so.
Good. I wouldn't have wired you if you weren't serious.
Say it all.
About 4 weeks ago, Cropley, our sheriff that is, just disappeared in the middle of the night.
Disappeared?
No ransom notes, no letter of retirement, and no gunfire in the streets that night. Just one day he was here and the next he wasn't.
Who saw him last?
He was going on and on about some bullets purchased recently.
That would be Roswell here. Boswell, these are the men I told you about.
You're gonna want to hire someone else then.
You have a problem with us, old man?
Yes, but I'll tell you when you're older, green boy.
Don't take it personally. He's been like that since a firecracker blew up in his face.
Where'd you last see him, old man?
The day before he up and left over in the sheriff's office. Just behind his desk last I looked.
You think he left?
I would too if I knew the mummy was coming.
Which brings us to our second problem. About a week ago, a man named Oranges came in and...
Killed Mitchens!
He said if the town didn't pay up in the next week, he was going to release the mummy on the town.
So we are dealing with the real thing.
Oh, you have no idea, boy.
Anything else we should know?
It's $2 for Appletini and gin.
Thank you for the drinks, ma'am. Let's get to work, boys.
Wait, I haven't finished my...
Johathon, move it!
Alright. Don't get your time fader in a bunch.
Thank you for coming back, Abraham.
Only for you, my dear. We'll be in touch.
You boys know where you're looking?
The sheriff's office is 2 streets down, right?
Of course, Will. Cropley was never in his office that night. Now, where you looking?
Then what was the whole story of...
I said that because I don't trust any of them in there. One of them helped snag Cropley before Osiris showed himself. I'd seen it, too.
Where are we looking, old man?
My place is right on the outskirts of town. I saw the whole thing right through the glass. He was riding back into town when they hit him, knocked him clean across the head and threw him over a mule before riding out of town.
You wouldn't happen to know where they were taking him, would you?
Well, I trailed him about 2 miles out to one of the empty silver mines. I would have tried to save him myself, but my bones ain't got the right rhythm for a fight anymore, especially in those dark, damp caves.
Can you lead us there?
I intend to, but not now. Too many hours in the daylight. Meet me at the post office as soon as it hits dusk. We'll leave at nightfall.
As you say.
And one more thing.
Yes?
This is a mine we're going into. Don't bring any of your heavy blasters with you. They'll bring down the whole place.
Wouldn't dream of it.
All right, boys. Here we are. The mine awaits you.
When did they dig out this place?
Oh, way back when they first built the town itself. One of my first jobs was digging in there. They had us looking for silver.
Was there any?
Of course there wasn't. Those bosses had no idea what silver even looked like.
Not too loud. You might give us away.
You'll be fine. Now get to it.
Aren't you coming with us, Boswell?
Me? Oh, no, I already told you. Too old to be wandering in these mines. Don't worry, the whole thing tunnels straight, so you can't get lost.
What, you're just gonna ride back?
No, I'll certainly stay here so no one sneaks up on you, but going into that mine is your business. Fair, boy?
Don't you...
As you say, old man.
Good luck to you. I hope you find Cropley.
Lord, it's dark in here.
Johathon, where's that lantern you brought?
Give me a second.
Here.
What the... When did you...
Oh, this? I bought it after we split off. They were having a sale at the depot.
How much?
20 cents, I think.
20 cents? Shh! Lional, they had us buy them over at 50.
It's not my fault you can't haggle.
You're the one talking. Anyways, what else did you get up to after we split off, Abraham? All the time just to buy one lantern?
I bought some insurance, if you must know.
Insurance? What are you talking about, insurance?
You're betting against us?
We are walking down a dark mine that may be a possible trap laid out by a gang who is threatening to unleash a homicidal mummy on a whole town. Only a moron wouldn't take precautions in these circumstances.
Then Lionel must be a moron.
Just shut it, you two. We've been in worse situations before.
Have we?
There was the time with the two banshees.
They couldn't hold a blaster.
How about the trouble with the Grindo gang?
You mean the lady who pretended to be 5 people?
The Leviathan?
That was a guy under a green sheet.
Alright. So the three of us have never faced anything like this. So what?
Then you best get your affairs in order in case this job finally shuts yours.
Hold.
What is it?
There's a metal chain right here.
A trap?
No, it follows too. Look here, a manacle. Broken straight through.
Broken?
Beaten off, probably with a rock.
Carmen would have him find him, bless his soul.
You can ask him, he's lying right over there.
Good lord, turn him over!
He needs water.
Right here.
Cropley? Cropley, can you hear me? You're gonna be fine. We'll get you out of here.
Who left you here?
Bullet. Bullet? What's he...
Judas Priest! Everyone!
You've been listening to WCWM 90.9 FM radio in Williamsburg, Virginia. This has been the Griffin Radio Theater with their production of The Good, the Bad, and the Nerfed. Before we continue with our program, we'd like to say a few words about one of our great sponsors. For all those who are aware, tomorrow is the WCWM Radio Fest, music from all sorts, the new generation coming forth with a sound and symphony like no other. So please come from 4 to 9 p.m. tomorrow in the Sunken Gardens. Behold what has never been behold before. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Abraham? Abraham? Abraham!
Over here. Just a few scrapes, but I'm alright.
Thank God. What happened to the mine?
Sounded like an explosion.
Blast it! Osiris probably tailed us here. Hope Boswell's alright.
He's a crazy son of a gun, he'll be fine. The question is, where's Johathon?
Kind of you to finally get to me.
Johathon, you alright?
I'd be better if someone could help get this boulder off my leg. You know I have a bad knee.
1 second. Does anyone have a light?
Here, my lantern still works.
Alright. Get to the other side of Abraham. 1, 2, 3.
How's my leg look?
No seeable problems. Try moving it.
It's not.
I thought so. Just lay down for a moment. We'll figure something out.
Lionel, you better see this.
Be right back.
Such a dull place to die in.
What is... Oh...
The first blow had to have killed him. Cropley was already weak. We couldn't have saved him even if he did make it.
Are we still getting paid then?
Johathon...
What? I have student loans to pay back.
It's a fair question.
We're trapped in a mine with a dead man, one problem at a time. What did Cropley say just before the mine came down?
It was no, bullet. Cropley said bullet.
Would this help?
When did you...
Cropley shoved it in my hand when we were trying to get him back up.
What is it?
It's a bullet, all right. Expensive by the looks of it. And look here. Has some strange markings carved into the casing.
Foreign?
I couldn't tell you from where, but Cropley didn't buy it from anywhere near here.
Could it be from the same place as the mummy?
I'm guessing we'll have to find out the hard way.
If we ever get out of here, that is.
Right. Johathon, do you think you'll be able to walk? I think we might have a long way to go.
Not without help.
Then we better get started. Abraham, get his other shoulder.
Got it. Thank God you're late, Johathon.
You're welcome.
Anyone know any good songs? Nothing lights up a mind like a melody.
This is gonna be a one long walk.
If you sing Camptown Races one more time, I'll blow your brains out, and then mine.
You'd be doing me a favor.
How many days is it?
I think 2 by now. Johathon, I take it back.
What?
You're a ton of bricks.
That's it.
Hold! Hold!
What? We're dying anyway. I'm just being out the process.
Just because we are exhausted, starving, athirst, and completely hopeless does not mean we're going to murder each other in our last moments. I refuse to die knowing that it was one of you who shot me.
How optimistic. My shiny outlook on life died after the last election.
Let's all just sit down for a moment.
I never thought it would end like this.
I always hoped I would make it to 80. I'd have one last big job that goes wrong, ending with a bottle of schnapps in my belly and a massive explosion overtaking me. You know, something classic.
45, Lake Tomahawk, lawn chair on the beach or in the old lighthouse, appletini, white chocolate peanut butter cup.
I can offer you a cup of granite instead.
Make it a double shot.
As you wish, my dear. Lionel, 1 or 2? All right then, 1 for me. What should we toast to?
The tragic death and wasted tax dollars, the only 2 things certain in this life.
To tragic deaths. Here, here.
I was hoping I'd get to see my little girl Elaine grow up before the end. She'll be 3 in 2 weeks. I wanted to go back home to her for her birthday. Surprise her.
Lionel, What was that?
What?
Do you hear that?
Footsteps. Someone's coming.
Hit the light. Stay where you are! We're armed!
Fine, I'll leave you here then.
Talia? How did you...
Abraham mentioned you might have needed some assistance before leaving town.
My insurance policy, gentlemen.
Why didn't you tell?
I didn't expect the mine to explode. I had no idea if she could save us or not. Didn't want to give us a false hope.
Ye of little faith, my dear. Luckily for you, Boswell isn't the only one here who knows these mines' beginning and endings.
Boswell? What happened to him?
I'm not sure. I couldn't find him at the mouth of the mine or back in town. He disappeared, just like Cropley.
Oh, about Cropley.
He's dead.
What?
There wasn't anything we could do when the mine caved in. He didn't suffer. I promise. I'm sorry, Talia.
At least you three are still alive. Come on. We still got a mummy to deal with.
Mummy, we haven't drank or eaten in 3 days, and you want us to go fight a mummy. Gentlemen, just abandon me here. Let me die with both my legs.
My appletini mix is back with our horses.
Lift me up, boys.
How far is the end?
Just a 10-minute walk.
That was it?
Surprised?
We thought it was only one gunshot away.
How you feeling, Jonathon?
With that mix in my belly, like I was born again as Johathon.
How's the leg?
Properly numbed, I'll be alright. Just pass me more of that bread.
Here, have the rest of mine.
Thank you, Abraham.
Coming into town now. Watch closely, boys. Osiris should be lurking around somewhere.
I don't see any... Hold. Everybody dismount. Straight ahead. He's waiting for us.
He's missing one man.
Probably hiding on one of the rooftops. I'll take care of him. Johathon, where's Cropley's bullet?
Already have it loaded. Lionel?
I'll keep it on Osiris.
Well, let's get started then.
Good morning, gentle. You hit the wrong man.
You weren't my responsibility.
Jug wasn't a conversationalist anyhow. Surprisingly, I have no interest in you today, gentlemen. From what I've heard, you took care of Cropley and Boswell for me. If you would be so kind as to move aside and allow me to get to my business, I promise you, you shall be rewarded accordingly for your services to this town.
What of the mummy?
Well, that would be my business, wouldn't it? Don't worry, we have it under control.
I'm afraid that violates our contract with the bartender, Mr. O. Mrs. O.
I couldn't convince you of making a few compromises. You know, bloodshed is not good for the systems.
Get on with it.
That is quite a shame, gentlemen. Mr. Lee, bring him out.
Right, boss?
Johathon!
As soon as I see it.
Mr. Lee, let him loose.
Johathon!
I punched the hole straight through the chest. I actually hit something this time. You saw it.
He did! Cropley's bullet just didn't work. We need another plan, fast!
Mr. Lee, hold strong to those chains.
I'm trying, boss. I'm trying. They're breaking loose.
What?
Too late! Start shooting!
The
The slaughter is inevitable, boys.
Boswell? How?
Who do you think snagged Cropley in the first place?
I knew you were behind the explosion.
I couldn't have you interfering with the mummy's wrath. It would have ruined everything.
You're with Osiris?
Yes?
Poor Swill. He unwittingly was just the mail boy for my child. All I want is death, and you all are gonna join me for the mummy.
You're insane!
Anything for the mummy. Devour us all!
I do believe this is where we all run for our lives. Ta-ta!
Do we have anything?
Bullets don't work! Lionel!
My child.
What?
He said my child.
I'm sure he's Father of the Year. Do you have anything?
Maybe.
Whatever you're thinking, think it faster. I know it's hard for you, but come on.
Here goes nothing.
Oh!
You shot Boswell, Howard?
Look, the mummy!
It's nothing but tatters now. Lionel, you did it!
How did you know killing Boswell would kill the mummy?
Lucky guess.
It's just dust and cloth this whole time.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
The sins of the father wrapped into one, Abraham. The sins of the father.
You've just heard The Good, the Bad, and the Nerfed, produced by Nerf Games at William & Mary, directed by Jake Poppiti. Our players tonight were Arthur Jones, Jonathon Newby, Nathan Moe, Somerville Munt, Sam Kiser,
Jonathon West?
Jonathan West, Jake Poppiti, and, of course, the beloved Al Romero.
Missing one.
And Hablo Tyler. A lot of late additions. With that being said, you've been listening to Griffin Radio Theater on WCWM 90.9 FM in Williamsburg, Virginia. This is Jake Poppiti saying good night, good luck, and Godspeed. We will now play you out with the Pineapple Rag.